She was found in her Pontiac home yesterday, and according to investigators, she is the victim of an apparent murder-suicide. Now, Dr. Green was the first woman of color to serve as the county's health officer. She's credited with helping in the fight against COVID-19 here in Oakland County and helped organize the mental health response in the days following the deadly shooting at Oxford High School.
This story comes out of Pontiac, Michigan. Michigan is lovingly known as the Great Lakes State. It's bordered by 4 of the 5 Great Lakes, the Superior, the Huron, the Michigan, and the Erie. It also has a city called the Transverse. That nickname was earned due to the large number of orchards in that particular area. Cherries are so important to the city of Transverse that it hosts the annual Cherry Festival each year. If you're into hot dogs, Detroit has a staple, and that would be the famous chili dog, also known as the coney. Now, this hot dog is a grilled hot dog that has chili, onions, and mustard. The urban legend believes that it originally started in New York or somewhere on the East Coast. And because they didn't want to be known as stealing this hot dog favorite, they added a little chili to it to mix it up. On Thursday, May 11, 2023, the employer of Calandra Green contacted her family. They informed the family member that they hadn't heard from her and that they were unable to contact her by phone. They stated that she had missed an appointment earlier that day and they were concerned. The family member went by the home. The home was located on the 300 block of Alhambra Street in Pontiac, Michigan. The family member, once arriving, went to knock on the door and there was no answer. They noticed that the vehicles were still parked there. Calandra and her husband's vehicle were both there, but no one came to the door, and they just felt that something was off. So they phoned the Oakland County Sheriff's Department and they asked them to send an officer out to do a wellness check. When the Oakland County Sheriff deputy entered the home, he immediately made a horrific discovery. The deputy immediately saw Miss Calandra Green sitting on the floor with her back against the sofa, and she had sustained a gunshot wound that was fatal. A few feet away was the body of her husband, Charles Quincy Sr., 52 years old, and he had also been killed by a fatal gunshot wound. Authorities were able to collect a firearm at the scene, but they won't say whether or not it was an assault weapon or a handgun. Authorities will not state whether or not the gun was legally owned and registered. According to family and friends, Miss Green was a kind and caring person. She had an outgoing spirit and just made friends wherever she went. She was very open and very approachable. This was a proud woman. She was proud of her heritage, she was proud of her community, and she was proud of the things that she was doing to help others. Professional peers of Miss Green have stated not only did she do her job well, but she actually enjoyed her job. Miss Calandra Green was an ambitious woman who climbed the ranks in her career fast. She started her nursing career over 25 years ago in the health field and continued to advance in her area of expertise. In 2004, Calandra Green received her master's in business administration. She would go on to become a doctorate of education, specializing in educational organization and leadership. In August of 2019, Dr. Green started out as a public health nurse for the county. Dr. Green started to promote very fast. In 2020, she was promoted to the role of a division quality and process improvement supervisor. In that role, she trained, hired, and deployed 68 nurses to 28 public school districts, also 125 private or charter schools. This was during the COVID-19 pandemic. The world was in a frenzy. People were panicked, in a panic state. No one truly knew how to avoid or treat this deadly disease. And people were looking for people who could give them information and can help them stay safe. That was the main thing, staying safe and trying to keep your loved ones safe. Dr. Green was quickly making a professional reputation for herself that was well known and respected. Dr. Green was promoted in April of 2022 to the position of Administrator for Public Health. Part of that position was developing and managing comprehension countywide programs. She also was in charge of leading the mental health responses to critical incidents. After the incident with the Oxford mass school shooting, Dr. Green expanded her responses countywide to make sure that all school districts were prepared that if such incident had occurred again. Dr. Green earned a great deal of trust with the residents and especially people of color. She was an advocate that created change and care within the county. Dr. Green was married to Charles Green on September 3rd, 2020, according to his Facebook post. He was a truck driver for an advanced disposal company, and he stated that he just wanted to live in peace and prosperity with his wife. There's no information on when Miss Green met her husband, but they did both attend and graduate from the Pontiac Northern High School in Pontiac, Michigan. One of Dr. Green's co-workers stated that Miss Green had been recently married within the last couple of years and that she was still practically a newlywed. From what she knew, that Miss Green was still a happy bride. She said that there was no indication that there were any issues in the Green home. The Oakland County Medical Examiner's Office released a report stating that the autopsy showed that Dr. Green suffered a fatal gunshot to the chest, which was ruled a homicide. They stated that her husband sustained a fatal shot to his head, which was ruled a suicide. Co-workers said that they had no clue that something was going wrong in Miss Green's marriage. Family members even said that the couple appeared to be happy. Good people, if you or a loved one are feeling distressed or depressed, or you're having any type of issues, or you just feel like you want to harm yourself, please contact the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. The number is 1-800-273-8255. One of the last photos that Miss Green posted on her Facebook page was a photo of her and her husband affectionately embracing one another. Good people, be aware and be safe. And if no one has told you today, I love you.